Getting a new day started. Let Mr. Oakley off the leash. We're gonna keep an eye on him. He gets a bit wild at times. First up on a hot sunny day. Woo! Let's make sure the dog's got some nice clean water. Thirsty, buddy? Come here. I'm sure he likes this. No? Try to cool him off a bit. We're running a bit late for work. The boss is waiting for us at the front door. Let's get right to it. We picked up these 2 washers and a couple mowers. Let's get them unloaded. First up today, we got a GE washer on the chopping block. I can tell it's already missing a child lock and a cap to the agitator, which isn't too big of a deal. Let's pop the top end off and see what we can do. There's a screw on each end of the top half that needs to be removed in order to properly access the child lock. Jumping back in the shop, got the top half removed. As you can see, no child lock, and there's a lot of corrosion inside that connector. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and replace the wiring harness as well. Rip the old wiring harness off. Found another child lock, wiring harness, and the plastic we're gonna need to hold it all in place. There we go, everything's installed. Now we can hook up some cables and get this thing tested. We're gonna go ahead and get the truck loaded up for this weekend. This is what we got for now. He's gonna get the truck pulled out the sun. I'm gonna hop back in the shop. Sick, keeping the sheep in line. We let some of them out to free range. We don't let the whole herd out anymore. That way they don't wander off into the woods. These guys tend to stay pretty close to the herd. Got the washer fired on. We're gonna run the first test cycle with no close. Make sure it's going through all the functions. Next up, we got this Whirlpool washer. It needs new suspension rods and a good cleanup. Let's see what we can do to get it up and running. In order to access the shocks, I gotta remove the top half. So I pulled off the wires that come from the body and released a couple screws. We should be good to go. Let's see what kind are in here. Pulled one of the rods off to see what we're working with. Thankfully, I have 4 new ones ready to go. All 4 rods are now swapped. Let's start putting this thing back together. Fits in one way. Make sure we don't pinch any of these cables. Somebody's sleeping good. Got this washer finished up. Everything's pieced back together. Let's take it inside and test it. Next washer up, this old Whirlpool. It seems to spin. The knob falls off. So we're gonna take the head unit off and take a better look. I think I found part of the issue. This plastic pin got pushed back. It's supposed to go through there. Doesn't seem to be broken. Let's try to get the knob back on. Works just fine. Now you can actually control the timer without the knob falling off. We're We're gonna run it on its first test cycle with closed. I got the body off, that way I can keep an eye on everything. Agitator's working. Finished out its first test cycle with no problems. We're gonna clean it up a bit. Same with the body, get it reinstalled and test it again. This thing might be old, but it cleaned up pretty nice. It even still has the original blue film on the head unit, which I'm getting ready to remove. Makes it look brand new. Looking good. Running it on a second cycle. On that note, we're gonna close up shop for tonight. Another day coming to an end. We got the van ready for this weekend. We'll be back out here tomorrow.